This podcast is brought to you by sleepyj.com/beats. If you need a beat for your next album, mixtape, or demo project, check out sleepyj.com/beats. That's sleepej.com/beats. Warning, this podcast may offend some people unintentionally. So if you get offended easily, you are advised to turn off now. And if you're still here listening, thanks and enjoy the show. What's up with it, world? It's your boy, CBJ. Talkin, episode 3. I appreciate you guys checking me out, showing all the love and support. Let's get right into this, all right? So, I've had several conversations with a lot of people. Several conversations about how today's hip-hop is not good. All have the same complaint about what's declared as mumble rap, which I try to let people know that this so-called mumble rap is more about the feeling, not so much about the lyrical content, but it's more about a vibe, a feeling, a moment. So if you don't understand what a lot of these newer artists are doing, be it Post Malone, which Post Malone's better than most, but be it Post Malone, Lil Yachty, or whoever the littles are, the SoundCloud rappers are that are out there, be it whoever you hear that you're like, oh, I don't understand what they're saying, I don't really like it, they're just really repetitive, all this and that. Keep in mind that hip-hop is more for in the moment, not so much about creating a moment. For the most part, it's flash in the pan. We won't be talking about them in 5, 10, 15 years. These are going to be people that they're going to be like the snap movement that happened back in the early to mid 2000s whenever, them franchise boys, the snap music where it was like da 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 da, all that stuff. You're going to hear it maybe brought up here and there for a little bit, but I don't see it as being like a thing that lasts. I could be wrong, but even if it does something that lasts, it's more about the vibe. It's the feeling. That's why you just you might not necessarily like it lyrically, but when you hear but the beat's tight, the cadences are catchy, it's a very catchy, catch you in the moment type of thing. So keep that in mind when you hear these newer artists. Don't hate on them just because they are who they are. If it's not your music, don't listen to it. I'm not here to defend all that, though. I'm really actually here to tell you that there is still good rap out there. There is still storytelling. There's still clear skills and things of that nature. That good old, when you thought of music in the 90s as far as for rap, you thought man, I could hear what they were saying. They had a message, or it felt good and all that stuff. With all that being said, I made a list. I mean, when people put me on the spot, I can never that's typically what I'm doing. I know there's a lot of people out there, but put on the spot, it's hard to think of them right off the top of your head. Prepared, but I made a list, pretty extensive list if I so myself, of all kinds of different rappers that are out here that are still doing it at a skill level for you to appreciate. Like I said, storytelling, delivery, charisma. They're not mumbling. It's very clear on what they're trying to do. They're pretty creative. So my qualifications for this list was storytelling, delivery, creativity, and don't mumble. So whether or not you like them, that depends on your taste. For me personally, for a long time, I was not a fan of that good old fashioned East Coast hip hop. I was very much a West Coast, down south type of a person. I liked the beats better, said things and did things better. I always felt like stuff on the East Coast was way too busy for me. Not, I wasn't really feeling it. Now I can appreciate it, but I really wasn't a fan of it um, during its peak or its height. So, but I try to keep up with hip hop nowadays, and also the qualifier for this is anybody that hasn't hit mainstream level, or maybe they're bubbling, but for the most part, these people haven't hit their peak yet. They're still like building their following. Um, I do have some that, well, this first part, these first few artists I'm going to list, these are still people that have a name behind them, still building, but they haven't released a project or more than one project, if they have. So, um, with all that said, let's just get into this. So, my first artist that I want to talk to you all about is Joyner Lucas. He's very creative, does a lot of storytelling. I first seen Joyner Lucas on the BT Hip Hop Awards. I don't know, probably 2012 or 13. I'm not really sure, but he was one of the people that stood out to me back then. I think he had the best verse compared to everyone else in his cipher that he did. I met him one time. Dude's really cool. Um, Kicked up a lot of heat this year. I think it was later last year with "I Am Not a Racist" video. Believe nowadays he's kind of piggybacked that with beef with Logic, but Joyner Lucas is definitely someone he has storytelling ability, probably better than most people. He has a great delivery. Again, very creative. There's a new artist. He's still up and coming. I seen him about I guess about 2 years ago. I met this white kid named Token. I think he's out of Maryland. He's again storytelling, very creative. He's of that good old like rapidy rap spit. I got bars on top of bars, double entendres, and um, I've seen a few videos people saying Eminem needs to sign him or he's the next Eminem or whatever the case. I'm not gonna hype you up to that level, but I definitely think he's very skilled. He was on Sway in the Morning, again about a year or so ago, and he made one of Sway's co-hosts start crying by just how good and skilled he was. So those are two people that have that hip hop skill of like, man, when they spit, they're giving it to you, and they're giving it your all. You know it. Um, the next guy's name is J John. Um, well, every time I see it, it's the letter J with the dash John. I don't know if he has any music on social, like on any of like Google Play, iTunes, or anything like that. Um, Mostly where I find his music is on YouTube. He does really good stories. Does a lot of remixes, songs that are. He does like his own versions of songs that are out there. Maybe it's a new beat that's really hot. Everyone's doing their own version to it, or whatever the case is. But dude is dope. Go through his catalog on YouTube. Again, storytelling, very creative. I think the first song did a mask off. A lot of the songs he had on YouTube. Very dope kid. I don't know how big he's gonna get, but I think people should be paying attention to him. Give him a few years to grow into powerhouse. Possibly if he keeps at it. Hopefully people keep paying attention to him. Grizzly Hendrix. I get it. Dude's kind of weird by standards. When you look at him, you don't think he looks like a hip hop face painting thing going on, but like lyrically is ill. Very creative storytelling. Very storytelling capabilities. Very creative. Did a song how long ago? Maybe 6 months or so ago about think it was Dear Eminem, or he does a lot of Dear Eminem, Dear Nikki, or he addresses a lot of big heavyweight names, but and he kind of raps them his opinion of them. But this one in particular that I heard was talking about how Eminem is supposed to be a rap god, but he's afraid to be himself, and he wanted to know what happened to him. It's really dope. A lot of creativity went behind it, and I think if you were a hip hop fan that like loved Eminem and think he's fallen off, he might have voiced a lot of your opinion in that. Um, I've only heard of, like, his catalog's not too big, but I see him on YouTube as well. I don't see him too much on iTunes or Google Play or anything like that. If he is, I'm not. But YouTube is definitely a place where you can find his music. Now, the next person, his name is Paige Kennedy. Probably know him from playing on Weeds as an actor. He played U-Turn, I think is the character's name. He was on Blue Mountain State. I can't remember his name. It's like Renzel Rydell or something like that on Blue Mountain State. He also did a lot of Vine videos whenever Vine was a thing. Paige Kennedy wound up going on the Breakfast Club about 2 or 3 years ago. Spit on there. Apparently, he's been rapping for a long time. He said he went on his first tour with Biggie, which one makes me not realize how old he is, but also he's very skilled. Like I said, he doesn't have a whole lot of content out because he spent most of his time acting. But I know he has at least 2 mixtapes that are on iTunes and Google Play and probably other places where you can get mixtapes from. I heard his first one was like, well, I personally heard his first one. Thought it was like, I was thoroughly impressed. Didn't expect to hear all the bars and lyrics that he had. The second project, I heard it, but I can't really vouch by it because I kind of browsed through it. I didn't really sit down and digest it because at the time that's not what I wanted to listen to. But Paige Kennedy, definitely someone that's got bars, uh, creativity, storytelling. I mean, give them a shot. What else do you have to lose? If you're complaining about what's out there, like Paige Kennedy is definitely somebody I co-sign hard. Um, this kid Russ out of Canada, I've heard one project from him. I think he's solid. I personally don't care for his personality. Um, he was very boisterous. Feels himself a little bit too much. I don't typically care for people that are like that, and I don't necessarily think the bad thing to have confidence. But for him, like, I think he's overly confident. Like, I produce my own music, I engineer my stuff, I write my own lyrics. I'm better than everybody. Like, he kind of just has this like, I'm better than everyone else, and that's why you should love me type thing. And I'm not really a fan of that personally. But skill wise, like, he does rap decent. He does have some creativity and a delivery. He's clear whenever he's rapping about whatever he's rapping about. So again, give him a listen to if you're interested in that kind of thing. He's out of Canada. Guess he would be like a white counterpart to what Drake's music is. Just to kind of give some context to who he is. Um, Dave East. Now, I don't really know a whole lot about Dave East. I know he gets busy. I've heard a few features. Seen him on this one song with Nas and whatever that, I can't think of his name. Lin Manuel from that did the Hamilton playwright. Seen a music video with all three of them. I know Nas like co-signs Dave East, and if you are a hip hop fan and if you're a fan of Nas, if someone gives you that kind of co-sign, I think most people will at least give you a shot. So if you never heard Dave East, again, Nas co-signs him heavy. Suggest giving Dave East to listen to. Now these next, they were on. Sorry about that. The next few people I want to talk about are they were on a show called Sisterhood of Hip Hop. They were female kind of love and hip hop counterpart, but these are based on like female artists, and they weren't necessarily like about drama. I mean, there was some drama in it, but it was more or less like MCs that are trying to make it in the industry. They knew each other, they worked with each other sometimes, but they were more or less just like we were seeing them being followed wherever they were, somewhere in Miami, somewhere in New York, wherever the case that wherever they were, just kind of followed them in their day to day life, in their struggle. Not really the important part. I think the people that they picked were good MCs. Like they spit, they had bars, creativity, charisma, um, sex appeal, all the things. I mean, and I just wanted to make sure I made sure I had some females in this thing because I don't think I think it's interesting that we often separate females from males when it comes to rapping, and I don't typically like females that are always like. Lil Kim was very much about sex, even though I liked her music and thought she spit very well. Most guys won't follow girls because they talk about sex, and guys don't want to talk about other guys. That's why females get kind of put in their own category typically. But with that being said, um, Brianna Perry, she's out of Miami. She's been on Sway in the Morning. If you ever get a chance to look at her interviews on there, she typically drops a freestyle on there, and she gets off on them. Follow her on her Instagram. She's always kind of putting up freestyles and things like that on there. She gets busy. I'm telling you guys, like she's got the skill. I don't know really why she hasn't really popped. I think she's got everything she needs to. I don't know if her label's what's holding her back. I don't know if it's her, but she's definitely somebody you should look for. Some of her music, you know, she's got bars. She does do the little Kim thing too. She's got bars when she wants to. Lee Mason, she's got more of a name than I've actually know her music. I know a lot of people co-sign her heavy. She's again kind of like Brianna Perry, where she's got bars. She does the typical female thing where she works on her sex appeal and stuff like that. But the bars and creativity are still there. Saya, she's I think she's out of New York. Um, and I've seen her kind of start acting recently. I know she's Tank's artist, and not that it matters, but I do know she's an openly gay rapper, which I don't think it really matters. But she's honestly one of the most impressive people that I've seen on the show, Sisterhood of Hip Hop. I thought she was really good. I like the few EPs that I've heard from her. Um, so I co-sign her as far as for bars and delivery and things like that. Um, give her a check, check her out. Naima Supreme. Okay, but Naima Supreme, she gets busy. Like I've seen her like get off on a few freestyles and verses. Um, I recommend her if that's what you're looking for, like those freestyles and verses. She dated what was his name? Mac Wild for a little bit, at least part of her storyline of Sisterhood Hip Hop. She was. Um, right now I think she's pregnant. I think from her Instagram it said that she was pregnant now. And I've only seen a few freestyles. Again, check out Sway in the Morning for those freestyles from her too. She got busy on those. Uh, that I mean, those are all Sisterhood of Hip Hop girls. Again, they got bars. They get busy, delivery, all that good stuff. Whenever you're the next person is, I put him in over here. This category is Chris Rivers. If you don't know, that's Big Pun's son. I've seen him do a few freestyles. Dude is nice. Wasn't a big fan of Big Pun, but his son Chris Rivers is nice. Opinion. If you're a fan of Big Pun, give him a shot. You know, if you were a fan of the Big Pun music, maybe Chris Rivers, you just want to listen to him because it's his son. Um, if you're looking for charisma, delivery, bars, and all that good stuff, again, Chris Rivers, you can't go wrong with him. He's still very young, up and coming. I don't know if he has any projects out. I've only seen like a few videos on YouTube. Uh, Most of them are freestyles or interviews that he's done. But check him out. I'm telling you, dude is nice. Um, I'm gonna say Cardi B. She's only got one project out. I know she's a little ratchet, but I think very clear in what she's trying to do. Um, I heard her album. I thought it was decent. Uh, it's not the worst thing that's out, not the best thing that's out. Better than a lot of the stuff. And I think she does a good blend between like modern, what's the word? Modern hip hop with the so called mumble rap stuff, but also like with trying to come up with bars and delivery. And she's got some double entendres and things like that. So I don't know if she's if she's getting ghostwriters or if she's getting co-writers or whatever the case is, but whatever it is, they're doing a good job with her lyrically. Um, I think she's working her angle. She's doing it very well. And again, if you're complaining about not being able to understand what they're saying or there's no content, she's got some story there to tell, and she's telling her story regardless of if someone's helping her write it or not. So give Cardi B a listen. You're really just trying to find something that's not like mumble and that you don't understand. Um, First set. Um, Sorry if I keep sniffling or keep cutting out. One, learning my distance from the mic still, and two, my allergies are still bothering me. So again, sorry for anything if I'm sniffling or if I cut out for a minute while I'm trying to either pause and think about what I'm trying to say, or I back too far away from the mic and it sounds like I disappeared for a second. It's really just I wasn't on the mic close enough. Anyways, these next set of rappers, they're still relevant, still can rap. Most of these rappers have been out around the 2010 era. Some of them are a little bit older, but these are rappers that are. I mean, these rappers have names behind them. They're still putting out music. Is pretty much the qualifier for this, and I say this humbly. I mentioned it last time. You'll see the rap that you follow the most. So if you keep clicking on this new stuff, trying to appreciate it, and you're not liking it, you're gonna continue to get it. I find new artists that actually rap because one, I click on a little bit of all of it, but mostly like my curated list that is being made for me through all my clicks and likes are because I listen to the same things. Like um, the first artist that I'm gonna list here is Logic. Logic, I think he's only I don't know when he started, but I've only been paying attention to him for the past 4 years, I guess. And I seen him on the BET Awards as well. I thought he got busy on there, and then I just kind of looked him up from there. But because I look him up, I know when every time he puts out a new song, new project, or whatever, my YouTube tells me, my Apple Music lets me know, Google Play lets me know, because they know that I listen to him, so they let me know if someone kind of sounds like him. They might say, hey, check him out as a suggested artist. But this is how I know. Um, that's how you're gonna find the new music that you want to listen to, not so much of the other stuff. But Logic is dope. He's got bars. A lot of people don't like him because he does this whole like I'm mixed and I don't know where I stand, or maybe he gets a little corny because he's talking about suicide and whatever the case is. I personally like him. I think he's got good content, good stories, good messages in his stuff. I think he's also very creative with his projects, um, doing them as a. I think all of his projects have the same theme. They're all part of the same storyline, things like that. So I like Logic a lot. Um, so Logic is another good artist that's still out here, still making good music, still very relevant. Ritz, he was on Strange Music. He's a fast rapper, much like Logic, but I think yeah, he was on Strange Music. He's a fast rapper. He's associated with Yellow Wolf. Um, he just got off of Strange Music. He's starting his own thing, so you might have to watch out for anything he releases out on his own right now. But he's definitely working with Strange helped him create a name, carved out a lane for him. He's doing very well as far as I can tell. Um, there's not really much I can say. Like he's like a Tech Nine but white, so maybe check him out. Um, Yellow Wolf is on this list. I mean, I know he gets a little bit experimental, but he's co-signed by Ritz and Eminem, and he's Eminem's artist still, I believe. So Yellow Wolf still makes music, still relevant. Might have to bear through some weird music to really follow him, but I think he's still very good, very relevant. Uh, well, I don't know if relevant's the word, but he's still putting out music, and if you listen to it and you're a fan of him, you're gonna like what he does. Because you're growing with him. Machine Gun Kelly still out here putting out good music. I really liked his last album, probably more than the album that he did before that. Um, but MGK's out here. He's experimenting with his sound, starting to do more commercially pop accepted songs, and um, but he's rapping. He's very good at it. He kind of puts his life in there. He kind of reminds me of an Eminem, where he tells his story, his struggles of what he's going through. If you don't know much about MGK, I think I kind of like him because he reminds me of people from my neighborhood in the sense that like he has a drugs addiction that he's fighting, but he's still trying to do well, trying to do right by his daughter. And I can relate and know because I know people that are like that. So I really like MGK. I co-sign him heavy for that. Big Sean. Didn't really care for the last project he did, but Big Sean does get busy as far as for bars, lyrics, delivery. Um, he's creative. He's known to pop up with a single here and there that gets everyone kind of going. So I wouldn't sleep on Big Sean. But yeah, Big Sean's still out here making good music. J. Cole's still out here making good music. Kendrick Lamar's still making good music. I'm not as well versed on Kendrick Lamar. Um, I personally just I don't like the way he switches up his flow and his accents that he's always constantly putting on his music. He's good for a good feature in my opinion, but a full project for me personally is not my cup of tea. Um, J. Cole, I like a lot of his singles. Not necessarily a big fan of his like album as a album personally, but I try to give him a listen to. I think he's very skilled, got good stories, very good concepts and things of that nature. Recently, I got onto G Easy. He's probably still part of a newer class, but he's still kind of weird. I didn't know where to put him, so I put him on this set of list. He does kind of a ratchet esque. I don't know. I want to say he's probably more like MGK, where he talks about his struggles, his good side and his bad side, but as far as for his demons, but he's probably still more involved in the drug culture and trying to find a balance with it. But G Eazy's dope. He has a story. You listen to him, I think he's very easy to digest and very clear. Hobson has been around for a long time. I seen him in concert, and that's kind of where he earned my respect as a fan. Seen him in concert a couple years ago, and he's just dope. He's got good lyrics, concepts, very creative, strong delivery, fast rap, slow rap. At the end of the day, if you don't know who Hobson is, like check out Illmind, check out all the Illminds. Like they're very dope, and that's what kind of really got me sold on him. Eminem's still producing good music. If you don't like it, it's not. I don't know. You gotta listen to the lyrics, man. Eminem isn't necessarily about these newer beats, but Eminem knows how to write lyrics, and his bars are still legit. I don't care what anyone says. He's got bars. He's got lyrics, delivery. You might not like him on some of these newer beats, but he's got it. Still out here making music. Ludacris released an album about 2 years ago, so I would expect him to probably release another album here real soon. Still out here making good music. Fat Joe, Remy Ma. Remy Ma's got a new album coming out later this year. Fat Joe and her did an album last year. I think Fat Joe's probably got something coming out or just came out. I haven't really followed up with that one song he did where he had the sample from Tupac in there. But Fat Joe's one of my favorite rappers that are still relevant from the 90s, still out here killing it. Remy Ma obviously has bars. If you didn't hear the Sheether, go check that out wherever you can. Amongst all her other music, she's just a dope female MC that's just killing the game. Um, Obviously, as you can see, rappers that are out. Not done yet. I still have some more rappers to get to. Now the next set of rappers that I'm gonna list, these are still rappers that can spit, but I didn't really know where to put them because yeah, I didn't know where to put these rappers. Maybe because I think they're a little bit too big to be put in the first category, maybe not big enough to put in the second category. So I didn't know where to put them. So I just kind of made a whole new list. These are all still rappers that I think worthy of checking out. Chris Webby. Not really versed on a whole lot of his projects. I listened to one that he did, I think last year. Thought it was really good. I seen him on Sway in the Morning. He does really dope freestyles on Sway in the Morning whenever he goes there. So I would check out Chris Webby. He's a white rapper, but he respects the art of hip hop. So I would check him out. The next three I'm going to list are deemed Christian rappers, but I don't necessarily look at them as Christian rappers because they rap. Like they have newer beats. They rap with people that are regular rappers, you know, or singers. Be it whether they let Snoop Dogg do a song with them, let it be name Ty Dolla Sign or whoever it is. Like they work with all the hot producers, all the rappers and whatever. Like they don't care that they're not Christian rappers or singers. They just like, oh, we make dope music that just so happen to be Christian rappers. So that's why I really like them. They don't necessarily put out like the crazy content that's like all about sex or anything like that. They just, I mean, they're good lyrical content talking about struggles or trying to get through hard times or whatever the case is. But they're strong storytelling, strong bars and things like that. So without all the cussing, without all the sexual innuendos and things like that. So if that's something you're really interested in, check out this new guy, NF. I really got into him over this "I Let You Down" or "Let You Down" song. So NF is a new guy that I'm just kind of getting acquainted with, but he definitely spits. Kind of reminds me of an Eminem, just the Christian version, if that's a thing. Lecrae, somebody put me on him. I don't know, around 2011 because they heard some of my music and they're like, you need some Christian music in your life. But Lecrae is very dope. I really like him. He does a lot of his last project. I think is great if you're going through depression and trying to figure out your way. So I highly recommend Lecrae. I co-signed him heavy. I've listened to several of his projects. Andy Mineo, he's got bars. I've seen him on Sway in the Morning doing freestyles. I've seen him tell his story. I think he's very good, very dope. Definitely deserves for you to take a listen to. Again, these are people that I'm talking about. They're clear in their raps. They're good at what they do. Give them a shot. Take out their Christian rapper if you just like good rap. Coast. Now, Coast is not a Christian rapper. Coast is a Houston rapper. He used to be with Dope House. I don't know if he still is, but I know when I got acquainted with him, he was with Twin Berettas. Goes by Coast, Costa Cola. I don't know whatever alias he goes, but I know him as Coast though. Um, he had a mixtape he did called "The Other Side of My Heart." I really kind of got into him because of that. I mean, I like Twin Berettas, but um, "The Other Side of My Heart" was something that just kind of got to me as a mixtape, and then I listened to "The Other Side of My Heart" Part 2 and 3, and he just released one not too long ago. I can't remember the name of it, but check out Coast. He's from Houston. He's a dope artist. He's very creative. I don't really. He kind of sings. He kind of raps. He kind of does a little bit of everything. But check him out. King Lil G. He's from the West Coast. He's a Mexican rapper just like Coast. But King Lil G is very much into that West Coast gangster rap stuff. But he's got a good message. He's decent. He's not one of my favorites, but I do like some of his storylines that he does. Reverie, I only see her on YouTube. I don't know if she has anything online as far as for Apple Music or Google Play. But Reverie, she's decent. She's definitely reminiscent of that '90s storytelling hip hop stuff. She tells some pretty good stories. If you don't know who Lil Dicky is, Lil Dicky's kind of creating waves with his Chris Brown song that he's got out right now. Lil Dicky's kind of funny, but I think he really appreciates the art of hip hop where he comes up with bars. He tries to make them funny or really dope and deeper than most people take them. And I think because he has a name like Little Dicky that people don't take him seriously, but Little Dicky's got bars. Like I've seen him do a few freestyles that they were legit, they were good. He needs a little bit more respect than he gets. Unfortunately, since he does do a lot of comedic rap, I don't think he'll ever get it. But check out Little Dicky for bars and things of that nature. He can rap fast. He can do regular raps, storytelling and all that good stuff. He's still very good. Alyssa Marie is someone I just found on YouTube. YouTube just kind of told me to check her out. I was like, yeah, I'll give her a listen to. She's kind of like Reverie, storytelling. From what I can tell, she's still kind of a very, very up and coming because she's only got like a few thousand views on her videos, but she's nice. From what I can tell, she seems like she's coming from the West Coast. Decent bars, still growing, but so I don't know if it's the production that it, like kind of makes me step away from her, but I think she's decent. She's somebody I'm gonna pay attention to for the next year or so, just to kind of see how she grows and evolves with that. But she's definitely worth listening to. And of course, my favorite rapper as of right now, I have to say, Snow the Product. Out here, she's making great content, whether it's on her YouTube channel, whether it's on her Instagram, whether she's putting out new music videos. The only gripe about Snow the Product right now is she did a mixtape last summer called Vibe Higher. I really liked the mixtape, but I can only listen to it on YouTube. Not there's anything wrong with listening to stuff on YouTube. I just don't prefer to stream my music off of YouTube. But mostly because I can't listen to it in an order or make a playlist with it for like all the stuff I'm listening to. Well, I guess I could make a playlist, but that's not how I want to consume my music. I pay good money for my streaming services, and YouTube is not the one that I want. When I watch YouTube or when I'm on YouTube, I'm usually watching interviews, not really there for the music aspect of it. But I digress. Snow the Product is my favorite. She's very clear. She's very underrated in my opinion. I don't know if people don't listen to her because she's Mexican. I don't know if they don't listen to her because she raps fast. But Snow the Product is my biggest cosign that you'll hear me give out right now. Typically, my first go-to when someone asks me, what am I listening to right now? The thing I like about Snow, she makes a lot of party music. She does kind of get in her feelings a little bit. She's a little bit guarded. She doesn't really want to get in there, but I really like it because she can sing, she can rap. She's starting to build out her entourage. She's got a couple people. I think they're decent. I'm not as big of a fan of them, but the fact that she co-signs them, I give them a listen to and whatever. But yeah, Snow the Product is currently my favorite artist that I listen to. She's got a couple singles out right now. Give Me Time new music video she just did, and then she's got I Love Myself. I Love Myself has OT Genesis on it. She kind of plays with that mumble style, but she's obviously rapping. But OT Genesis has that, the hook on there is kind of mumble-ish. Oh, and Help a Bitch Out. It's another very stripper like song, very ratchet, but I like that song. So I really like what Snow the Product is doing right now. If you don't listen to her, give her a listen to all these artists. Like, I'm not listening, like, these are people that I listen to. These are people tips, the everything comes to music. Like, I am a pop lover. I like all music. I think there's a time and a place for it all. If I want to listen to something that has a deeper meaning, I listen to those that have the deeper meaning. If they have the party stuff, I want to listen to the party stuff. I listen to it. If I need something for the gym, I need it. I'm a very diverse person. I listen to a lot of R&B. I listen to a lot of whatever. Like, I listen to music. I listen to it for the beat. I listen to it for the cadence. I listen to it for the deliveries, the rhythms, all of it. Like, I am a huge fan of hip hop, rap, R&B, country, pop music. Like, if it has a good beat, I listen to it all. I try to give it a chance. I try to see what they were going with it all. I feel I was very long winded, but I kind of wanted to give everybody some sort of concept of what I mean by these rappers that are out here still making good content and what they're doing. That is my list. I thought about it. I put a lot of time and why I like them and why I think you should listen. Hopefully, it didn't like get listening to me. I appreciate it. I'm enjoying putting these podcasts out. I mean, I know, yeah, but it's um I enjoy coming up with the content on things. I think the next one I want to do is I'll talk about some R&B singers, more newer ones that are out here making good music. Maybe R&B pop. I don't know, but I'm working on it. I'm enjoying making this content for you. If you don't know, I have a fan page for the podcast, Sleep Talking Podcasts on Facebook. Go hit the like button, subscribe on there. Subscribe on all your platforms. We're every day I'm getting a new email saying that we're hitting different podcast places. So I think right now I know we're on Anchor, we're on Pocket Podcast or Pocket Cast, Radio, Reality Radio, Overcast, Apple Podcasts. So we're growing. I created a YouTube channel. Well, I didn't create a YouTube channel, but on Sleep Vision YouTube channel, I'm uploading these. That one will probably be uploaded tomorrow. Or this one will probably be uploaded tomorrow on the YouTube channel. So if you're following the YouTube channel, you'll probably get them a day later after I publish this on the other platforms. But nonetheless, like, I'm generating the awareness, growing with everybody. Hopefully everyone's liking it. If you're going to my website, sleepyj.com, I appreciate it. The beats that I have on there, I'm adding to them slowly. I'm trying to build out. I have a lot of beats that I have to like finish them and then upload them. So if you're not hearing something, hopefully I'll get something on there soon that you'll like. I think I'm gonna create a beat specifically for the podcast, just so that way you guys have something to be familiar with instead of just uploading snippets of all my beats every time. I think that's something I want to do. But yeah, I'm out here working. I mean, I'm building up my platform. I got a lot of things that I want to work with. A lot of ideas for my YouTube channel that I want to do. A lot of ideas of I mean, there's so much I want to do. The hard thing for me is like I do a lot of this all on my own. I don't have a team around me yet, but I know once I like something that I do that most people don't know is like I don't like to wait for people, so I start doing things on my own, and I don't trust people to do what I need them to, so I have to do it all on my own. But I'm working on it. I need to build a team so that way things run a little bit smoother, more on a schedule. Also, if you don't know, I make a lot of lists. I write a bunch of little sheets of paper, and I lose track of things and try and keep up with them as best I can. But that's how I come up with these concepts for you guys, or these lists of things that I want to talk about. And I'm trying to get organized with it all for you guys. Uh, but before I sign out, I also want to get into there's it's that time of year. People are graduating. I know I recently graduated. Um, just see a lot of things that just kind of irk my nerves. So let me touch on this one thing real quick before I get out of here. Is I really get worked up by this whole notion that the best years are behind you when you're graduating. Like, graduate college, like, oh, now here comes the shitty years of your life. Or you graduate high school, your high school years are the best years of your life. Your middle school years are the best years of your life. And I will give you, chances are, if you're lucky enough in middle school where you don't have to worry about the hardships that life was going to give you, it's a little bit easier, and you do take those for granted. Same with high school. If you're lucky enough to not have to worry about working and going to school and keeping decent grades, those years are a little bit better than once you have to get out into the real world and work and worry about bills. Same with college. If you enough to just go to college and not have to worry about your bills so much, you're just the college kid. Um, it yeah, it gets a little bit tougher once you're out. But let me say this: like, your best years aren't behind you. This is what I want to say about graduating or anything. Like, I am of the notion you live your life how you live your life. Like, it's not about the destination, so to speak. It's about the journey. You enjoy it in the moment. Enjoy your life in the moment. Stop saying, like, once I make $1 million, then I'll be happier. Stop saying, like, once you get to a certain point, then you're gonna be happy. Like, you're gonna look back always, in my experience. I mean, I don't know what everyone else's experience, but in my experience in life, it gets tough. You get tired. You work, you work, you work. But at the same time, those are the stories that you tell people. You don't tell people the stories of, like, oh yeah, today was cool because I did absolutely nothing. Like, it'd be a boring life. You tell the stories of, like, man, there was this one time I was up against the gun because there was a deadline that I was trying to make, and I was out partying with my friends, and I still pulled it off. Those are the stories that you tell about, and those are the times that you'll think, like, man, that was crazy. I can't believe I did it. But then you kind of, like, you had fun in the moment. Um, that's what I'm saying. Stop worrying about the destination and appreciate the journey, because the journey is the stories that you tell your friends and your family later on, your colleagues. This is what makes you relatable. I just seen it in a Instagram post that, like, life after graduation, and it shows someone falling on their face, which you're probably gonna fall, you're gonna stumble, but you get back up, you keep moving. I just really get annoyed when I hear people talk about, like, oh yeah, the best lives are only at this time, and no, life is a journey. It's filled with ups and downs, good and bad times, and you just learn to roll with it. You appreciate it when you can, and that's life. Like, I hope that anyone that's newly graduating or anyone that's going through a hard time know that life is a journey. You're gonna have your good and your bad. You got to get through it one way or another. When it's good, it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. But eventually the tides turn. Nothing stays perfect forever. Um, that's my positivity for you guys today. I hope you guys like this podcast, and if you do, please like, comment, subscribe on wherever you hear this. If you see it on Apple Music, please leave some comments, rate it, help me get ranked. If you see it on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. If you wherever you see it, if you see my podcast fan page, please like it, comment. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I'm getting some texts and some things like that. Phone calls letting me know people like it. But for those that don't know me personally, please give me some feedback. Please let me know you like what I'm doing. Also, you can follow me on my Instagram at SleepyJ. It's SleepEJ. Or you can follow me on Twitter. I enjoy my interactions with people, so please at me if you hear me there. It's at sleep, SLEEPE __ J. I'm active on those two the most, so follow me on those. I try to be on there as much as I can, so DM me, text me, whatever the case is, please reach out. Let's talk. Let's do this. And until next time, take it easy.